Senior Bowl festivities started yesterday with the weigh-in, so we're going to go position by position, talking about my winners and losers of the weigh-ins, starting with, well, the most fun position, wide receiver. And basically the theme here is everybody's a heck of a lot smaller than we thought they were. Start with the top here with Xavier Leggett coming in at 6'1". And it's funny because in my comments section, like a few days ago, someone was like, "Oh no, Xavier Leggett's gonna be 6'1". I was like, "Oh, South Carolina lists him as 6'3", and weigh-ins aren't until Monday, so he's 6'3" to me." He ends up being 6'1". I just found that was kind of wild. That was kind of funny, but all in all, like you look at guys like you got Marcus Roseme, Jack Saint ends up coming out just huge. Like size wise, he's kind of all right, coming in at 6'1", 205, but 33-inch arms is just kind of nutty. It really, really is. But you start looking at a lot of these guys in this class, and it's like, wow, they feel like slots. Like Jamari Thrash, listed at 6'1". At Louisville, I thought he might be 6 foot. He ends up being like barely 5'11". And you're like, oh, buddy, yeah, you might be a slot guy in the NFL predominantly. Which, I mean, I think that's fair. You look at his tape and it's kind of like, oh yeah, he's not someone that probably can handle press like a ton. But like looking at the other like slot guys in here, Ladd McConkey came in at 5'11", 187, so a pound bigger than what he was listed at Georgia. Malachi Corley comes in at 5'10", but 215. I'm telling you, this guy's a running back, man. He's built like a running back. But like you got, where is it? Jacob Cowan, who's 5'8", 165, legitimately needs to come out here and look like Tank Dell to really kind of stay in that day two pitch for me. You got Roman Wilson somewhere here coming in at 5'10", 186. So yeah, it's like he feels like he's a slot guy. I'm curious to see what this Southeast Missouri State kid, Ryan Flournoy, I'm curious what he looks like. I'm very excited to see him during the practices. But Jaquan Jackson came in pretty darn small. He was at 5'9", 190. So another guy that just kind of gives you a running back feel. Let's go ahead, move to the tight ends. Cause give a quick shout out here to Luke McCaffrey. Like he came in built, dude, 6'1", 202. Who would have thought? But I want to talk about Johnny Wilson real quick because I got him. I don't know if he's gonna be working with the tight ends yet, but I put him in my tight end rankings. He's coming in at 6'6", like 0.6, 237 pounds, 35.25-inch arms. Golly, that man is thick. He is built. But looking at some of the other tight ends, I think for the most part they came in bigger than I expected. You got, Theo Johnson. He was a couple of pounds smaller, but you look at his length, it's like, okay, that's relatively solid. Brevin Spanford came in 3 pounds lighter, but he's already 267 at this point, so he's still pretty large. But AJ Barner, I think, could have a big day. His length was really impressive at 33.5 inches. Ben Sinnott came in larger at 254 after being listed at 245 at Kansas State. Jaheim Bell, while 6'2", is a little shorter, came in at 244, so you like to see that. I didn't get weigh-ins for Tanner McLaughlin. I wonder if he's participated. Just because a guy didn't weigh in doesn't mean he's not going to participate in the practices. Like, we'll get to like Tavondre Sweat. He didn't weigh in, but he is going to be at the practices. But like all in all, the tight end group I thought they came in with relatively solid heights. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. However, the running backs, again, it's like the same thing with the receivers. Everyone's smaller than you expected. Everybody, except for Isaiah Davis, who is an absolute unit at 6 foot, 220 pounds. He's got the biggest hands of this so far, this running back group, and 10.25-inch hands. But I mean, you got like Ray Davis came in at 5'8", but 220 pounds, so that's nice. You got who else? Vidal from Troy, who I'm excited to see, but he came in at 5'7". You had Marshawn Lloyd at 5'8" or 5'9", but we knew he wasn't going to be that tall anyway. But yeah, man, I mean, these guys were coming in short. Jalen Wright, he's nursing a minor injury, so he's looking to get ready for the combine, so he won't be here in Mobile. You had Edwards and Wiley be late additions. Wiley actually got an invite after his Hula Bowl performance. Jahar Jordan, I don't know if he's going to be participating, so that's going to be something to watch out for. He didn't measure out. And then Amani Bailey, man, came in at 5'7". And then like the length, like he's just so much smaller than I anticipated. 5'7", that just kind of blew my pants off. Not in a good way. And then at the quarterback position, Joe Milton, yes, he came in absolute unit, 6'5", 235 pounds. He was actually tied for the largest hands and second in arm length, which shocked me a little bit because I thought he was just going to be the cream of the crop when it came to size. Michael Penix, came in tied for the largest hands and then had the biggest wingspan too, 33 and 5/8-inch arms. That's freaking bonkers. Wild. Bradley Carter, I believe he was at the Hula Bowl and actually spun it pretty well. He was easily like the best quarterback there at the Hula Bowl. So I'm kind of interested to see him because I haven't gotten back to stinking South Alabama tape. But for the most part, the quarterbacks came in looking, measuring well. Let's go ahead and move to the offensive line, and not a lot of people came in and really hurt their stock, so to speak, like, or at least with their weigh-ins. There were a couple of people that came in with shorter arms than I expected, but those guys are all projected centers. Graham Barton, I didn't weigh out, so that's something to watch out for. Tyler Guyton, came in looking like an absolute unit. Fuaga hit that 33-inch threshold, so you love to see that. Javon Foster had big arms. You had Ladarius Henderson having big arms. And then let's keep going down here, looking at some of the other cats. Cooper Beebe, I know he opted out. It's a real shame. There were quite a bit of opt-outs. Like, you also had Troy Fatadu. He ended up opting out. We'll get to some of the guys along the defensive line that decided to opt out. Dude, Haynes coming in with almost 34-inch arms shocked me. I thought he had I thought he was a little more limited in terms of length, but still coming in at 6'2", 318. He's going to test out at center this week a little bit. I can't wait to see that. And then Jordan Morgan, as anticipated, The length was just below 33 inches on the arms because a lot of people were talking about him as maybe a guard. He came with 32 and 7/8 inch arms. I think that's going to be fine. Bo Limmer did come in with sub-ideal length. I will say he came in with the 31.5 inch arms. So you're going to think about maybe limitations at center. That's why he moved to center this past season. It's going to be something to look out for. Brandon Coleman came out actually with really good length. I'm wondering if he's going to work out at tackle a little bit this week since he basically was a left tackle this year for TCU. Patrick Paul came in huge. I think he had by far the biggest wingspan and biggest length of anyone here. 36.25 inch arms. Just absolutely ridiculous. But outside of that, man, I thought everyone came in and there weren't too many concerns from this offensive line class. So let's just go ahead. We're about to get into linebackers, but what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Move to linebackers as we actually had quite a few opt-outs. Tommy Eichenberg, I believe, didn't measure out. Don't think he's going to be here. Jalen Ford didn't measure out. Don't think he's going to be here. Tyron Hopper, didn't measure out. Don't know if he's going to be here. I know Michael Barrett definitely already opted out, which I was a little concerned about him. Maybe that's just an injury, but Peyton Wilson did come in with sub-optimal hand size and length. I don't know how much that'll really matter. I mean, I think the dude's going to show out. I think Cedric Gray came in looking good, 6'1", 232, so that's okay. Okay height and weight, but came in with 32.5 inch arms, pretty solid. But the absolute units at this position were guys like Maris Liafau, who came in with 34-inch arms. Absolutely ridiculous. You got James Williams, who's now listed here with the linebackers. He's up to 230. He came with 33 and an 1/8 inch arms. Trevin Wallace came in with 33-inch arms. So you had a lot of nice builds here. Was it Jalix Hunt, the Houston Christian cat? He's listed a linebacker, but I don't know, man. I don't know. He is 6'3", 250. It feels like I want to see him work off the edge a little bit then, because he came in with 33.5 inch arms. His hands are massive, 10 and 1/8 inch. So something to watch out for. Move into the defensive interior class. Rook Arahara. I don't know if he's here. I'm thinking he might have opted out. Tyler Davis came in with suboptimal length. That was to be expected. He's short, he's stubby, but 30 and 3/4 inch arms. Brandon Dorlus is very interesting to talk about here. Very interesting because he is down to 272. I'm curious, is he working out at edge this week? Mama mia, that's going to be interesting. Adisa Isaac, man, I'm not so concerned about the size with him anymore. I'm really not. Came in at 6'4", 250. He had almost 34-inch arms. A guy that does still, he lays a little to be desired in terms of what he can do as a run defender, the anchor. Will he be washed out of the run game? But, I mean, really, I think for the most part, run drills are going to be kind of big for him this week. Byron Murphy. He opted out. He was another guy that is resting a minor injury that decided to opt out. Kind of made me sad, but it is what it is. Dwayne Carter came in with really good length. Was it Marcus Harris or was it his teammate that came in just small? No, it was in fact actually it was Marcus Harris, who came in at 6'2", 284. And then 32-inch arms. That's in the lower percentile. You got Darius Robinson here, who I have listed among my edges. He's at 286, and he came in with almost 35-inch arms. Marshawn Nealand came in with huge arms, 34-inch arms, and he's down to 268. So that's definitely something to watch there. Michael Hall, oh my goodness, Michael Hall, man, I think he's going to have himself a week here. I really do. He's 6'2", 280, so okay, the weight suboptimal, but 33.25-inch arms. Hello, show me more, tell me more. I want to know. Liatu Latu did come in with suboptimal length. Chris Braswell as well. I was actually a little taken back by that. He's just a smidge under 33-inch arms, but I thought he had fine length on tape. Maybe that was just me. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I don't give the eyeball test too well. But Liatu Latu, 32.5-inch arms. We knew he wasn't going to, we knew the arms were probably going to be short. We know the testing's not going to be ideal. So it's really important that he has a big performance this week to kind of retain like a top 20 status in this class. At the very least, though, he is a first rounder. You'd love to see Javon Solomon coming in with good length, but also a guy at like 6 foot. He's short, but still long, 33.25-inch arms. Austin Booker, though, he did not measure out from what I saw, so I'm kind of curious what will be up with him. Is he partaking in the week? Like I said, Sweat, he just decided not to weigh in, so kind of is what it is. Miles Cole came in looking like an absolute unit at 6'6", 272, 36, and almost a half-inch arms. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm excited to see the work that he is going to get this week. But let's move to the defensive back class, where, man, a lot of guys, you're looking at this and like, oh yeah, these are slot guys. Like Johnny Dixon coming in with sub 30-inch arms. Yeah, he feels like he's probably a slot guy. It gives you some Roger McCreary vibes. Evan Williams was a late addition here, as we had some opt-outs like Jaden Hicks opted out. So a little sad about that. For the most part, with the safety group, you had a couple of short arms, but honestly, nothing too crazy. Thought it was fine for the most part. But this corner class came in measuring, honestly, pretty well. Mitchell hit everything he needed to be. 31.125-inch arms, solid. Came in at 6 foot, 195, just like Toledo told us he would. So I like that. Max Melton had good length at 32. Malik Mustafa, actually, Malik Mustafa. This guy is 5'10", 210 pounds, 30.125-inch arms. So he is coming a little small. Kalen Carson didn't measure out, and I hear that he opted out. No, he did measure out. Excuse me, but this was the thing. I'm curious if he's even partaken in practices this week. I think he might be hurt. He's at 169. Okay, it wasn't that he was hurt. I think he's hurt. I didn't expect him to be like that small. Like, we're talking 20 pounds smaller than what he was listed at Wake Forest. Also, you look at the length, 30-inch arms, he's just at that threshold. So that's going to be interesting to see. Mike Sainristil still did opt out, unfortunately. Was a little sad, but is what it is. Quincy Riley's going back to school. Cam Hart, man, absolute unit, by the way. 6'3", 204, had the biggest hands among this corner class, and over 32.5-inch arms. So you love to see it. Javon Butler, he measured out like a slot. He might end up being a slot, but dude played safety well this past season, so I'm not too worried about it. I know a lot of people probably want to know about Cam Kitchens, how he measured out. He's 5'11". It is what it is. It's fine. There's a lot of sub 6 foot safeties in this class, but he was at 206. He had good length. I'm not too worried about it. Jalen Simpson, I was actually a little intrigued by, as he was 5'11", 178. Kind of expected that, but the length ended up being good, so he's definitely someone to watch out for this week. And then we had these Auburn corners, man. Josh Newton, by the way, he did opt out. But these Auburn corners, Nehemiah Pritchett, I think, measured out actually pretty solid. 6'6", 188. Great. He hit those thresholds, but DJ James, man, he's 5'11", he's 170. We knew he was small. At least he's got the length. We'll see how that goes. Dude, Shaw Smith Wade came in so much bigger. He's up to 187. Still suboptimal length, but yo, watch out. These are actually two guys I'm very excited for. I was going to talk about Elijah Jones in my Shrine video, which I think that'll be out later today. Like late tonight. Had a, not Shrine, was it the Hula Bowl? I think it was the Hula Bowl, actually. Let's see. Yeah. Because I had him as one of the most impressive guys at the Hula Bowl. You go back, look at his analytics. He had a really good year. Made me want to go back and watch him. He's now at the Senior Bowl. I'm excited. Carlton Johnson from Fresno. I think he was another guy at the Hula Bowl that just didn't really catch anyone's eye. But apparently it was good enough for the Senior Bowl. So he'll be here this week. But yeah, I'm really excited for Elijah Jones. I can't wait. Practices are about to start. So you let me know who you think were some of the winners and losers from the weigh-in in the comment section below. If you're excited for draft season, then hit that thumbs up, man. It's going to be a fun draft season. Of course, I got to give a shout out to Underdog Fantasy. They're a great sponsor of the channel. When you sign up using promo code Broshmo, they will match your first deposit up to $100 dues. But as always, bet responsibly, bet within your means. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.